All right, guys, Figma. That's right, not Hasbro, Figma, though we got a couple Hasbro stowaways right here. We're looking at the Overwatch Figma D.Va. Sans mech though, but I don't know about you. I play a pretty mean D.Va outside of her mech thanks to that gun of hers. So we're gonna take a look at this. It's gonna be a little bit more in depth since there's a lot more articulation and accessories than what we get with Hasbro. What happened to this face? Turned. I repackaged it for this shot, so that's my fault. But man, I have gripes, but I love this figure. And I can't wait to compare it to Hasbro's. We should be getting the Midnight D.Va in the GameStop 4-pack. Have any of you gotten that? I got charged and then my order got canceled. All my orders got canceled online. And I placed another order and I got charged again. So we'll see how that goes. But enough of my GameStop woes. Let's take a closer look at D.Va here. All right, here she is at a box. Man, is she tiny. And yes, I know Figma doesn't necessarily scale with American 6-inch figures, as the Japanese figures tend to be true 6-inch, and that goes for Mayfix and SHF. However, she's still super tiny. I can't wait to compare her to her Hasbro counterpart, but she looks fantastic, man. This figure, again, I have some gripes, but we'll get to those, and we'll do height comparisons with some Figma figures, Overwatch figures, as well as obviously the Hasbro ones, as you can see one in the back there. Let's talk accessories. Figma figures come with so many hands. I want to start with those first. In package, she came with these splayed out hands, and separate from the standard Sigma hand tray. Geez, I've been playing too much Overwatch. Figma hand tray. She does come with a hand with a cell phone, a hand to hold this, what I assume is a Nuka-Cola. And this cola can itself has no detail on it. It's just a silver can. Just kind of a bummer. I mean, Nuka-Cola isn't a brand, so why didn't we get that painted detail? And in that same packaging as the can holding hand came this victory sign hand. Both for her left hand there. And moving on to the hands on the classic Figma hand holding thingy, this thing, were two fisted hands. And of course, I love this. I mean, this is bringing the toy to life. It wouldn't be D.Va without being able to recreate one of the emotes from the game. D.Va showing you some love with the heart hand gesture. And D.Va does come with two trigger finger hands to hold her light gun in each hand. Light gun itself is looking fantastic. You can see the D.Va logo there near its barrel. Her little rabbit charm at the end. Little rabbit aim gun there. The D.Va logo again, or the D.Va text, flavor text there. It's a nice pink. This little pliable plastic. Be careful. This could snap off, it feels. And finally, bringing a closer focus to her face here. This was the default face she came with. And in true Figma fashion, she does come with swappable faceplates and an alternate head. So again, default face here. Bangs are removable, and this is where my complaint comes in, because at least mine doesn't sit in very well. If you're gonna pose her on a shelf and you're in earthquake country, she can take a dive and these will pop off, and you got a D.Va with who looks like she tried to cut her own bangs there. So be careful with that. Also, these headphones are a separate piece and they come off right after. Let's get her out of the way so I can get a focus on these. No focus. Am I too close? Painted very nicely. Pink lines, green lines, little pink extenders there. Bringing D.Va back into frame. And one alternate face is, that's right, winky face. So you get the face on, you get the headphones on, and you get the bangs on. And man, I mean, this just brings out a lot of character. Awesome stuff. So I got her on the stand. She's so short, and I just took off the wrong hand. Anyway, she's so short, got her on the stand so we could get her close up to this camera. There you go. Only she doesn't have a hand. We'll hide that. Looking good. The other face, our alternate head rather. So head will just pop right off. See the peg there, alternate head, peg there, pegs right in, and yes, she has a weird set of lips. I'll show you why in a second. There we go, Hana Song. And as I cut away, boom, chewing gum. Taking a page from Hasbro with their Boom Boom and Jubilee as of late, but not really, because this has been in development forever. And I'm sure these aren't the only figures who chew bubblegum, but man, this is a small accessory, so be careful, and you only get one. So if you lose it, you lose it, and that's that. The other cool thing is, this hat does come off. Bangs are in there, as you can see. And this faceplate can be used on this head. So if you want a diva chewing bubblegum, listening to her headphones, basically the default diva head, you can go ahead and do that. Oh man, see, I almost lost the bangs forever. Options, baby, so good. You can recreate a lot of victory poses and or highlight intro poses with this figure, and we may just do that in this video. And finally, we get that classic Figma stand that a lot of Figma figures come from. Here's the Blizzard copyright, Figma logo there, peg there, which D.Va has just a standard hole in her back. Fits in nicely. Yeah, man, loving this figure so far. Now, let's just go ahead and admire the detail, the paint, and all of that stuff on D.Va. Again, she is a small figure. We took a look at the headphones there. Paint on every face is really nice, at least on mine. Although you don't really tend to get the QC issues or paint issues that you would get on a US or a domestic, depending where you're from. We'll just say domestic US release. Like Marvel Legends, again, you are paying premium for this. So the brown here, nice, dude. Awesome. No wash, no nothing, no highlights, none of that. But it's okay. Again, Overwatch is a very cartoony aesthetic look to it, so it's good. Look how clean that rabbit symbol is, her bunny symbol there. It's a real shame almost we didn't get the Taki, her mech. But then again, it isn't. I mean, with Hulkbuster ranging between $300-$400, depending on which version you got, I'm almost afraid to see how much a Figma mech costs. I'm not necessarily afraid of a Hasbro one. So if Hasbro manages to come out with a nice one, I'm sure this D.Va could fit into it. I'm betting, and I can't confirm, I'm betting the Hasbro Figma is taller than this one. But yeah, again, back to the detail there. Nice blue, nice silver little accents there, or whatever you want to call it. Green highlights. This is definitely detail you probably won't get in the Hasbro version. Her sponsors here on her thigh. Crisp, clean, awesome looking prints. Got the Blizzard logo there at the bottom. Z Fighting up there. APM. Mecha. Mobile, depending on where you're from. Oh, look, I talked shit, but I got paint splotches there. Anyway, Mobile Exo Force of the Korean Army. Getting kids to fight for them, man. Yes, she's legal age, but she's still very young, and crazy that these kids would go to war for their country. This white is so clean. These bracers. A nice gold. Only seen there at the bottom of each wrist. Sculpted lines in her jumpsuit. Sculpted black there. Backside's looking good. No detail left just because it's the back of the figure. No detail left out. So, again, these little green parts are painted inside. Look at the neck. It's got a nice collar. Nice little pink centerpiece there. Yeah, man. Clean lines, clean lines. I'm kind of bummed about this. Can I scrape this off? Do I want to? Should I? Am I going to ruin the logo? Somebody stop me. I can't stop. Oh, God, I'm going to screw this up. Whatever. It's forever. Feet looking good. Again, green detail there. Pink detail there. Silver bottom of the feet. Awesome, dude. This figure is awesome. Let's move on to Articulation. So with this head here, and it's on the same peg as the alternate head, there is no real looking up. You get a good down, and you get, oh man, I really want to leave these on because of how silly she is, but they might be coming off the more I mess with the head. But she gets a ridiculous down. And for the alternate head, naturally, the up is somewhat more improved. Hair is in a little bun. Mecha logo there. Excellent tilt. Naturally, you get your side to side. Without her hair down, I almost feel like this neck is a little long, but it's all right. I'm probably never gonna really pose her with this hat. And yeah. As for shoulders, you get a nice back and forth. Not necessarily a butterfly, but a back and forth and an up and down. And of course with Figma, you're gonna get some excellent range of motion out of these joints. So as you can see, to lift her arm up, I pulled the joint down, up I went to get that far. And naturally you get full rotation to bring her arms close. If you want to, for whatever reason, do a diving pose, you can do that. But yeah, full 360 of the shoulder there. Take a look at that back and forth one more time. Good stuff, good stuff. Focusing on the elbow, so although they're not a double jointed elbow, you can see it's a nice round joint there, so you get a great range. Look at that. Can you hyperextend? You can hyperextend a bit. Don't do that, that looks gross. So, poor Diva. You do get a swivel at the elbow as well, which will turn from the bicep, so it's the top part of this joint, not necessarily there. Since that's where you're bending at the forearm, and you're swiveling at the bicep kind of. So no, it's not a bicep cut because it's at the elbow joint, but you know what I'm saying. So we get no bicep cut, however, the shoulders come into play again. You get this nice rotation there, and doing so does expose the joint, but given that it's a black joint on a section of her that's supposed to be black anyway, doesn't look bad, man. Awesome, awesome range of motion on this. So you can see the backside. So it just depends how much light you have on it, but it does not look bad at all, and it's a welcome range of motion there. Keeps this clean, man. Keeps this clean without a cut right there. So all hands are, they have the peg hole in them, all hands. So the joint is the same for all hands. So you can see it's a hinge and a swivel, and that goes for both. Focusing on the midsection, she has a diaphragm joint with a ridiculous tilt. Awesome, awesome tilt. Far back, you are gonna get exposed and look inside the figure there if you go too far back. And the front, not necessarily a lot of bend there, but wow, look at that. You're just looking right into the joint, and you can see it's a ball hinge swivel type of joint as well. No waist joint, again, probably to maintain the aesthetics, their female form here. Looks good though. I mean, you can twist at the top. Yeah, it kind of cuts the design right here of her jumpsuit, but whatever with that, I think it works. It looks awesome. Focusing on hips, she does go out that far. Does she have the drop down? Yeah, they do. They do. The Japanese figures tend to have drop down, but you're gonna get some gappage here at her hips. So I don't know how. It's gonna look goofy. You know, you keep them where they're supposed to be. The female form stays for the most part. Looks pretty good. Back range, she can go out that, or go forward that far. She's got some Diva butt sculpted in there, so it's gonna be hindered. You could kind of squeeze out that way. I don't know who realistically bends that way, but you know, I don't know what you're gonna do with that, but you can do it. There is no thigh cut though. Again, this is probably to maintain the aesthetic, but you can, just like the shoulders, get some twist at the hip joint itself, and it looks real nice. The knee, again, it's a single joint, but similar to the elbow, it's gonna get a ton of range. It's a nice little ball, so it doesn't blend in nice like some Marvel Legends stuff does, but again, it's okay. I think it works, and Figma makes it work. So you get what you pay for. There's no hyperextension of the knee because of the way the knee is sculpted here, so it's gonna stop right there. But again, look at that. It's just moving all around that joint there. Feet, it's the same ball joint, so you can get almost ballerina type feet there, which is great for Widowmaker. Up that far, you do get a toe hinge, and of course you get a fantastic ankle pivot. These feet are tiny, you know, so I don't know what good the toe hinge could do. Some of you expert posers and figure photographers could make some use of that, I'm sure. All right, moving on to height comparison. Here's D.Va next to Hasbro Soldier 76 and Hasbro Tracer. Jumping back and forth between Hasbro and Figma. So here is D.Va next to Figma Tracer and Figma Genji. And here's D.Va with Hasbro's Zarya and Hasbro's Chrome Genji figure. And here's D.Va with the final two Figma figures, Widowmaker and Reaper. And finally, and I purposely didn't adjust the camera for this, here she is with Reinhardt in his Bundeswehr skin and Blackwatch Reyes, aka Reaper. All right, guys, and that about wraps it up here. I hope you like what you saw. Please like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, all that stuff. Also, get this figure. If you're looking for a D.Va, I mean, if D.Va's your favorite character and you're willing to drop the funds, do it, you know, because we know this is going to be better articulated than the Hasbro version. The Hasbro version, I'm sure, is going to be excellent as well for its $20 price point. But this D.Va is something else, man. This one might be my favorite out of all the Figmas released so far. There is one other extra piece of articulation I forgot to mention. Her hair does articulate. So this top layer is a soft plastic, and the hair here does bend up. There's a hinge. So, but that is that. Thank you so much. Again, thank you. Thank you, those who watch the videos and like and all that stuff, and who have subscribed. I'll keep going. So we'll see you in the next video.